seem to be live. We seem to be live. Well, it says going live, but I feel like we're already live.
I'm looking at the screen right here. And
I'm hitting the air horn. Welcome back, everybody, to another stream. It is Adapt Crypto. You may realize that we are becoming quickly unstoppable. Our gains know no bounds as a team here. So I'm excited to be here with the boys. What's up, Two Daniels and Harry? It's good to see you guys.
What's up? I had my camera working, but it doesn't seem like it's working anymore. So, I mean, very misfortunate.
I think any camera issues and sound issues that we've been having, it really adds to the sort of homegrown feel. And I'm just excited about looking back like a year from now, when we all have just like 4K cinema quality with the chyrons and everything. I think we're just proving. What are we proving here, guys? Tell me what we're proving. Street cred, something.
We're proving that the man can't FUD our bags, but they can FUD our cameras.
Indeed. I mean, I thought you guys would be looking forward to see my face today, but the camera says no, and when camera says no, camera says no. But without further ado, I think let's get into this TA. What do you think, guys?
I think that's okay. I mean, people are honestly, they just want to look at these green and red lines on the screen. I think that's what we're all looking for. So,
yeah.
What's going on with these green and red lines today, Harry?
Yeah, so today, guys, our TA will be for 5 minutes on this live stream. So, let everyone know if they don't know, if they want to check out the TA, it's here on the live streams, live and direct with your boy, Trade Sharp. So, let's kick it in. So, looking at the chart here, we're looking at Ethereum first. Why? Because Ethereum has been at the star of the show. Yesterday, from my call, we did pop up nicely. And we have the chance closing in a day and 17 hours here to close above the topside Bollinger Band. And what does that mean? Well, that means immediate trend continuation, because if you look here in the past, closing above the topside Bollinger Band has proven to be trend continuation, and every time we've closed below it, we've had a bit of sideways and down. Going and looking over the lower time frames in Ethereum quickly, let's remove these Bollinger Bands off, and let's see what we have. Bring back our drawings. So in the lower time frames here, we have, we basically came back down and retested this previous support line that I have drawn. Probably it will be visible for you on the 4 hour, make more sense. And you can see this is the trade I call. I said, you can see yesterday, all of the wicks that I've accumulated, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times yesterday after my video. Ethereum did try but never got above, and I said if we do break at least this wick or do get a closure on a 1 hour above this area, we're gonna have a continuation. And yeah, we did get that continuation, and it was pretty clean. We had a nice big move. Let's see the percentage of that move. For a nice 5% gain, if we're trading with leverage, that would have been nice, right? And now we're correcting back. But if you guys notice, where are we correcting back down to? We are correcting down to the support line. And we're getting a nice bounce on the support line as we speak. We did dip a bit into it, but you can see we have these 2 wicks here accumulated here, these nice 2 wicks, which is showing that this is a good basing area, because wicks on lower time frames are actually candles. So on lower time frames, this looks like V shape, and V shape is pretty bullish. So I'm looking, I'm not looking this as a death sentence. Yes, we have CMEs coming up, so maybe they're pricing in already the CME, because that's a pretty big dump there on the 1 hour. Maybe we even come back lower, but to be honest, I'm not bearish on this chart until we probably see, let's go to a 4 hour, pretty decent, until we break this low here at 1,579. If we start breaking that low, then I can look maybe for a move back down to 1,400, which is still not bearish. It will just be a retest of this huge breakout. I mean, we're still in a higher low structure, right? Coming back down to test this here and continuing up is not bad at all. Quickly looking at Bitcoin, it will be a similar story. Let's go on these charts. Bitcoin does have, now Bitcoin's a bit interesting, and this is what I do want to show you quickly, is that Bitcoin has the chance to close above the topside Bollinger Band, which we haven't done in a while, right? Because, oops, let me get rid of that drawing, because we haven't done that in a while because we've had this correction, right? And look how close we are. And looking at, like, we do have the chance here in a day and 17 hours. That's a bit of trading time. And if Bitcoin does close the weekly above the topside Bollinger Band, then I'm looking for this move and Bitcoin to kind of take the reins again and start moving up to the upper 40,000s. I don't see why we don't see 50,000, and we start talking about targets once we get there, right? Quickly looking over the lower time frames, we did have a dump this morning, but this is getting quickly picked up. And what do I see? 4 hour, we can see that 4 hour is being bought back up. Nice wick here. 1 hour, we'll look at the quick. You can see we are having some pressure to break this high, which is not a death sentence in itself. I don't even mind if we come back down here and test this 38,000. I'm not bearish on this chart, believe it or not, all the way down till 34,000. So as long as we remain above 34,000, I'm not bearish. Quickly looking at momentum, they need to close pretty much a little bit above to remain up. 4 hour Stokes are crossed up, looking good. 2 hour Stokes, are crossing up as well. So this is all looking good. Looks like we're getting a nice backfill on this 2 hour candle. If we do break this high or even break this wick, I see 39,000 and probably 40,000 is very in the cards, probably back up here to 41,370. With that being said, I'll leave you off to the guys, and I'll be hanging out here in case anyone has any questions. So
yeah, stick around, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I've got a question, man. So what sort of effect do you believe that this is going to have on alts? Because everyone holds alts, and I think that's what most of our community sort of want to know at this stage. Now, I will sort of say I did notice that the Bitcoin dominance was sitting on that trend or support line. I think, Marsh, you brought that up yesterday. We'll have a bit of a look at it.
I think I have BTC dominance here.
Yeah.
I can bring it up. I mean...
And if, I guess what they want to know is if Bitcoin were to continue to go up, is that going to have the adverse effect on our altcoins? And, we haven't seen this for a while, but, when Bitcoin, I notice that every time Bitcoin gets very close to, the all-time highs or that psychological levels of, the 40,000, or the recent high, all alts seem to dump a little bit, and everyone wants to ride that stuff, and everyone's also scared of altcoins bleeding. So I think we saw a little bit of that this morning, but would love to hear your opinion on it, Harry.
Yeah, for sure. If Bitcoin starts taking the reins again, I mean, it's simple. If you think about a person who's a bit, smart money investing, they're always looking to take their overvalued assets and move it to undervalued asset. We've had a lot of green days, and Daniel actually mentioned in the group, I'm taking some of my profits out of these altcoins. Why? Because he's following this strategy where, you take something that's becoming overvalued and you put it into something that's, undervalued. But to an investor, what's the safest undervalued option that has been dumping and now is starting to gain its reins? It's Bitcoin. So they play the cycle. They take their altcoin profits, move it to Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin gets moving, they take their Bitcoin profits and move it to altcoins. And Bitcoin dominance, we can see it got a nice bounce here at these lows, which we might just see it pop up. I mean, if you look at it as a massive trend, we are still in an uptrend, right? You can see there's a very simple trend line. Just to show you guys trend, I'm not, it's catching this trend line that's caught this low, this low, this low, this low. TA is not always going to be great on a Bitcoin dominance because, it's moved by other factors. But what we can use it as a metric to see where, we can expect this to go. I mean, we did get rejected at these highs here. And, personally for me, as soon as we see this Bitcoin past this $40,000 level, I do think we see this dominance start to creep up and these altcoins start to lose some of their value against the US dollar and Bitcoin in itself, because this is how rotational market moves, and, it's just a cycle. And that's definitely what I believe will happen, is that these alts will start losing a bit of value and Bitcoin will take the reins again, and then the cycle will repeat itself, and that's how you play crypto.
Oh man, it's exciting. I guess it's important to remember that there still aren't that many of us crypto traders out in the world, and that I guess there are a lot of newbies that are just sort of checking regular Coinbase, not Coinbase Pro, and just trading wildly, willy-nilly. But there are a lot of us that are looking at these charts just like we are, and are picking up on the same information. And yeah, we'll be doing what you're saying, Harry, sort of checking out what is overbought and then moving on to the next one. And I think
Just
obviously
keep an eye on your bags.
obviously Bitcoin has a special place in all of our hearts for various reasons. It is the king, the daddy, and when it starts to move higher than it ever has gone before, it's hard to resist that call. I mean, personally, I feel that call. Next time Bitcoin's coming. But obviously the better choice would be not to wait until we're already passing 42,000, but to get in a little bit earlier to catch that move. Would that be correct,
indeed,
Harry?
indeed. Yeah, to be honest, as looking at a risk point of view quickly, you have to set a stop loss, right? So to catch this move, my personal
Stop
target
loss.
was...
What's a stop loss, Harry?
Stop loss is basically where, if you're trading with leverage,
I'm joking
think
a
about
little
it
bit.
like this.
I'm joking a little
I
bit,
know,
but
I
just
know.
for the people at home,
Yeah, no, but I'm making it very simple. But think about if we're trading with leverage, a 1% move down with leverage, with 10x leverage is 10% on my account down. So Bitcoin eats 1% like it's an ant on the road. So
Just a simple Uniswap.
But,
Then can you explain that math for me one more time?
Yeah,
All right, so-
leverage math is confusing to me, honestly.
So it's pretty easy. Think about it. I'll make it nice and easy for you guys. Think about a percentage, and whatever leverage you use, it's 10x that percentage. So if you have a 10% move with 10x leverage, you're making 100% gain. Does that make sense?
And times 10 is 100. Got it.
Yeah. So if you had like 100% move with 10x leverage, you're making, 1,000% because it's 10 times that.
I mean, 10x
And,
leverage makes sense for me, but other numbers like 5x leverage, I start to get a little confused.
Well, just, there's something that someone created a while back. I'm not sure what it's called. I believe it's called a calculator. And it's pretty useful. You just input some numbers and you press some sort of symbol and you'll get your answer. So just take the percentage and times that percentage by 5. Or if you're using 5x leverage.
So I guess what you're trying to say is that in order to make infinite money off crypto, you can't just, you have to know something about math. I think that may be a little frustrating
you
for
just
people
go
listening at
100x
home.
leverage long. Eventually you'll be rich.
Financial advice.
No, I'm just joking, guys. Don't
We're all
what
just
if you
joking,
did-
guys. Not financial
I
advice, right? Not financial
I
advice.
do want to go back on one point there. There was a comment made that Bitcoin it'll be eaten like an ant on the road. I just want to make it clear. The community members within Adapt Crypto don't eat ants on the road, so
Yeah.
I just sort of just clear the air there. It's not something that's.
I said
that's
Bitcoin
normal.
will eat it like an ant.
Like an ant on the road. No, I really like the image, but it was a confusing
Yeah.
image to me. I don't often think about ants eating anything, really. Do they have mouths? I mean,
No, not an ant eating the road. I'm talking about Bitcoin will eat it like an ant being squashed on the road is what I should
Oh, that makes a
okay.
bit more sense
Okay,
because I've
perfectly
never seen
explained.
anyone eat an ant off the road. So
Well, I don't know. You
Well,
can
you know.
find some strange things in Australia.
protein, protein, wherever you can get it.
Yeah. And just to go back on that original point, to kind of explain it, I guess, from a psychological standpoint, I mean, we've had these 2 weeks, maybe more, like the past couple weeks, definitely the first week of February and the last week of January, where we've seen this absolute kind of explosion in the lower cap altcoins, just kind of resounding throughout the lower markets. And everyone has seen some crazy gains in their portfolios. But at the end of the day, what we always tell people, what everyone that we know, like all the authoritative figures in cryptocurrency world have said, is that you want to be eventually flipping your profits into Bitcoin. And everyone is going to be thinking the same thing. As soon as Bitcoin starts to ride back up, hey, I've got all these profits here. Let me go ahead and just convert into Bitcoin. And when everyone does that, your altcoins are going to dump a little bit and Bitcoin is going to shoot back up. So that's kind of like I guess the psychological standpoint that you should be looking out for when Bitcoin starts making moves again.
100%, mate. A lot of people focus on stacking sats, and that's where it sort of comes
Indeed.
from.
Yeah, that's sort of what we were
You know,
talking about a little earlier. It basically what we're trying to do in trading is a little bit tell the future, because obviously you do want to make moves before other people make moves, because that's sort of your gains. You're making the move before a bunch of other people are making that move, and however you got about that idea, that information, maybe you were looking at charts, maybe it was some fundamental analysis. That's sort of always the goal, right? Is to be ahead of the curve, be telling the future a little bit.
Someone just commented, I think you guys should talk about this and probably take the reins and have a chat. And I think it's a very, very, very good topic. Is, you know, profits are hard to take now with gas, and you know, how are we supposed to take these profits, and what should we do about it? You know.
Yeah, 100%, man. I could sort of talk a little bit about that, and we've already sort of touched on it. When we see this price action of, you know, Bitcoin suddenly moving and then ETH sort of dumping, or ETH going up, either way, people will start making, you know, all these trades on Uniswap. And on the Ethereum network, and that's what caused the congestion, and then it sort of just magnifies or snowballs from there, and you know, it gets tough. Like you can't really, you know, it's hard to sort of be able to make those trades to preserve your wealth when the Ethereum network is getting absolutely pumped, as you know, the weak hands are getting shook, as you know, as Bex is dumping her dumping her bags for ETH. It gets very difficult. So, and that's why that might be a bit of a segue into Binance. Binance, or BNB, has been absolutely killing it lately. And what we're starting to see, and I've touched on it yesterday and a little bit the day before, we're starting to see a migration from the Ethereum network and DeFi. And people are starting to venture out a little bit to, what is it, AnySwap or BakeSwap or PancakeSwap, whatever that is. They're testing to sort of see what's out there on the Binance Smart Chain. And the liquidity pools on Binance Smart Chain is not built with ETH, it's built with BNB. So that's why we're starting to see that price action, that demand for the token, and it has been absolutely moving lately.
I think it's a fascinating time to be in crypto, because it's like an inflection point that we're at. Something needs to change, right? Because if the gas fees get any higher, really we're sort of hitting our maximum. Even for whale investors, then it really just sort of destroys any momentum that the market has. Because this was interesting. I'm actually going to steal the screen for a second here. Let me just pull this over. So we had a request in the chat to talk about Option Room really quick. Everybody was pretty hyped on this launch, the most recent PokeStarter launch, which if you don't know about what's going on with PokeStarter, obviously it's just sort of killing it. It has become almost impossible to get in on any sort of pre-sales for the PokeStarter launches, because they are just getting so insanely hyped. But for good reason. Almost every single token that launches on there is doing a minimum of a 3x, if not a 10x or more. And so Option Room launched yesterday. It is an interesting project. OAS forecast protocol, and obviously always with the dot hype and everything. And if we look at the chart just real quick, man, can I get us out of the way here for a second? I do want to measure this real quick, because even if you had gotten in just seconds after launch, you would be sitting on a 22x right now, pretty significant gains, and it does seem to be continuing upwards. But just like we were saying, at the time, just your basic swap, even for a low figure amount, was costing $100 plus just for the swap. Right. So if you're talking about only investing maybe an ETH or so, that is a serious percentage of your stack there. You are spending a lot of money on gas all of a sudden. It is impacting your decision making. So, yeah, guys, what do we do? Do we all just switch to Binance? Because I think people are still interested in getting in on these PokeStarter launches.
It's a good question, and I think you got to ask yourself: is the juice worth the squeeze? And what sort of upside and research have you done to be able to guarantee those profits? I can't sort of make a decision for everyone, but what we obviously need is some scalability and just a way to reduce this congestion. I'm yet to sort of see the solution. We're hearing about a lot of solutions, but we're not really experiencing it. And then you might see something like projects on like Avalanche sort of claiming no gas and no congestion and top speed. It's like, yeah, mate, that's because nobody's using that shitty that chain.
No, that's
I'm sure Avalanche is a good chain.
So cold.
Ice cold. No, I mean there definitely are trashed ghost chains out there. I don't necessarily want to name any names. EOS, Tron, but
definitely Tron.
but there's it really is it's this inflection point because we have already developed the technology to solve this problem. But the problem is really adoption and generating hype for any new platform. It's hard to steal the fire from Uniswap, and everybody's sort of waiting on Polkadot. I mean, but we could switch tomorrow to Cardano. We could switch tomorrow to Neo or any number of other less good chains, actually. it would be ready. Maybe we'll all switch to Binance. I honestly personally feel like CZ has enough money. I don't know if I even want to give him more of the decentralized money. I think he's doing all right with centralized exchange money. That's my personal feeling about Binance, but maybe that's where everybody heads. Maybe that's the next play.
I think at the moment that would be probably the smartest place to go next if you have Binance available to you. I do not have Binance, unfortunately. Most of my trading, like 99% of it, I do on-chain through DEXs, Uniswap, SushiSwap, 1inch, everything I do on-chain, and those gas fees have been eating me alive lately. I posted in the Telegram, I think 2 days ago maybe, it was a transaction fee for creating doing stake on Alpha Finance, and it was $300 for a low speed transaction. And even last night, especially last night, with the option room coming to public listing, it was insane, the gas wars and everything. And I think that's why you see people migrating to other chains. That's why you see whenever Ethereum goes crazy, everyone looking at alternative blockchains, layer 2 solutions, your loop rings, your honey swaps, your other scaling solutions, Falcon Swap, like for example. People are looking for an end to these gigantic cuts out of their profits.
Yeah. Ooh, it looks like we just lost the meeting. Sorry, guys. It looks like we gotta pick up a Zoom account. We gotta get one of those Zoom accounts going on because it looks like our Zoom meeting just ended. But we are having a good time. If you're having a good time out in the chat, let us know your emotions, your feelings about what's happening here on Adapt Crypto. We're starting to really love just getting out here on the stream and just chatting with you guys. You know what I mean? Just hanging out. Since it is the weekend, I feel like we're all feeling a little bit looser. But if you guys just, let us know in the chat. Let us know sort of what you're interested in us covering, and we'll sort of head towards it, because that's, if anything, this community, it really is a community. It's a built from the ground up sort of experience. I'm honestly just like a normal random dude. They didn't desert me, Eric. It's just something that happens with technology. But it looks like we're getting back up. We're getting back up here. It's all good.
He's taking us down. We're being censored.
Yeah. No, this is big YouTube. They honestly don't they don't want us making sick gains like this. And that sort of is the point that I was about to make. Let me see if I can pull you guys up real quick here. Let's switch back to you guys. That was sort of the point I was going to make. I think what drew me to Uniswap and decentralization in general in the crypto space is that, basically you're getting screwed left and right at all times, from your bank, from your job, from your taxes. It is really hard to get ahead, and there does seem to be some sort of concerted effort going on in America to keep you from changing your economic status, because just to look at crypto, it's like, we can't get on Binance, we can't get in most of these IPOs. IDOs or anything. Americans are just sort of locked out in general. So I think we're all really just looking for some sort of leg up, some sort of edge, and that was sort of the promise of the DEXs, that, oh my god, there's like 10x's, 100x's happening here on the regular. You just have to be intelligent enough to pick up on them and get in there, and there isn't going to be anybody to stop you from going in on these plays. And that's just after being downtrodden for many years, that is a fantastic outlook, the possibility of really changing your economic situation. But then again, if the fees are going to be $300, like you're saying, Daniel, that is just a little absurd. And for a lot of early players that are just getting in, $300 is more than they're earning in the week. That is not really something that you can afford to just throw away on the transaction, much less maybe even a coin itself. So, I mean, I know we all, would like to have larger stacks. It would all be great that we're all whales, but what I'm waiting for to really kick this entire insanity bull run off is for all of the normal people to really be throwing their $20, their $30, their $100 in here into the Uniswap casino, because that's really, I mean, we're already seeing insane volume, but that's what will really just sort of blow the top off this and drive us into full insanity face melting mode, which I am honestly extremely looking forward to. But yeah, your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, 100%, man. Uniswap can remind you a lot of a Mad Max scene where people are getting ravaged left, right, and center. So it's important to prepare yourself. And I think this morning I saw a little bit of our community sort of get wrapped up in the euphoria of making all these gains, and everyone's like, yeah, self high five, I'm doing really well. But you've got to take the profits. Now I took a few profits on some of my positions, and I did keep some, and some, I was feeling the full experience of Mad Max, but on some of my my holdings, but I did keep my Cardano bag because I knew there was fundamental analysis that would keep it driving up, and it is still doing quite well at this stage. Binance BNB was an easy one as well because I could. Everyone's sort of leaving the Uniswap. Not everyone, sorry. Some people are starting to leave the Uniswap and investing in the Binance Smart Chain. There's been a few others here and there. I do know Unibright got shilled by BitBoy just recently, so I'm sure that's doing well. But what my point is that the fundamental analysis is what will keep things sort of going up and ignoring the crypto market conditions, because everyone's listening to the news and FOMOing into the news. So I don't recommend you quickly switch over to what's pumping. I recommend when you're culling back your portfolio, consider what's sort of overpriced. Is there any news coming up? Probably not. Might as well take a little bit of profits. But then I went, I'm going to keep my Cardano because I know Gogan's gonna go and get my portfolio bigger. The other thing I'd also consider when Bitcoin is starting to perform, I find a lot of the older sort of zombie chain projects will sort of pump with it. Like we had Litecoin sort of move, Bitcoin Cash. I don't recommend getting into these, but these are some considerations. It's really up to you. You might have a preference over it more than I do. So my point is like, what if Bitcoin's pumping? What usually pumps with Bitcoin? And have a look at what fundamentally what's going to pump. At the point of time.
Well, because when Bitcoin is pumping, sorry, man. When Bitcoin is pumping, that means new people are getting excited, and oftentimes they only scroll down this list for 1 second, and they see Litecoin at the top, they see Bitcoin Cash at the top, and then they just straight up buy with no research. That's people are just going to keep doing that. I think we have to factor that into our investment strategy. It's no shame in buying a little Litecoin, even though it's pretty much dead. But other people don't know that.
I'm pretty sure Brad Garlinghouse factored that into, when he launched XRP, being deceptive and saying, look how cheap XRP is, guys, and it's in the top 5. Everyone's thinking, that's cheap, I'm going to get some.
Ooh. Crypto deception.
But just kind of going off of that point, and then from our previous point about fundamentals and when gas prices are high, if you want to kind of cross over that analysis and take a look back, when gas prices get up high, we were talking earlier about how people start to look for alternatives to Ethereum network, to Uniswap, to everything else. They look for alternative investments that aren't going to, kind of hemorrhage their gains through transaction fees. And if you look at the top gainers on today, if you've never used this screen before, the darker green boxes are the ones that represent the highest percentage changes. And I'm looking across here, you see BNB huge, Atom huge, IOTA huge, and everything. There's eGeld, HBAR. Like, these are all alternative blockchains that I guess people are looking to as an alternative to these crazy fees that you get on Ethereum network right now.
Oh man, we got a request in the chat. Somebody's asking when USDT is going to pump. Could you guys give analysis on that?
Right now.
That's probably one for Harry, to be honest, being a forex trader.
Yeah, when is USDT going to pump, Harry?
We can't hear you, mate.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
I'm here.
Okay, yes, go, mate.
Yeah.
US dollar.
US dollar is gonna pump.
no, USDT. We see that there in the corner. It's looking like it's in the red there at $1. I mean, honestly, I guess
I'll be surprised if it goes
down from yesterday at $1 as well.
1.01. I mean, it's I think this thing can really fly if you just make your chart inversed, and
I feel bad. I mean,
it will fly.
I think we are trying to attract newer users. A lot of the people in this group are sort of I don't know, degen veterans. You guys should know. You guys should be aware that USDT is pegged to the dollar and should stay at $1. It may fluctuate up like $1 or more, but that's really just because they are sort of faking their whole supply and don't actually have the billions of dollars in dollars on hand that they're promising that they do. And there's actually a possibility that they will get taken down in the future, which I don't want to spread FUD, but I sort of have tended towards USDC now ever since hearing about some of that. Just my personal preference. I don't know about you guys.
Just to clarify that one little point, the tethered USDT, like the stable coins, like the hard-backed, collateral-backed stable coins, they don't vary by a lot. The whole idea is that they're pegged to $1. Obviously, with supply and demand and enough volume transactions of changing between stablecoins and other assets, they can vary by small percentages. Sometimes you'll see it go down like at most a cent or two. That's within reason, but they should always stay close to the peg. And there's a whole arbitrage market. Someone help me here.
Arbitrage.
There we go. Arbitrage market to keep them pegged to $1.
And now we're hearing in the chat, that this was a joke. They were just joking, guys. But I think it is important, right? We often are talking to our insiders, but we have noticed in the Telegram, which, by the way, you should get in the Telegram, that new people are showing up constantly, and they haven't been down this journey yet. And while we do enjoy sort of making a joke, I think a part of the reason for creating content and just being out here is to spread the gospel, spread the message that, yes, you too can make 10x insanity gains if you make the right moves. And the trouble is there's a lot to learn and a lot of mistakes that you can make along the way before actually reaching your first 10x. So, that's one reason why we're out here, to just sort of help you guys out. And if you do have any legit questions, if you have any silly questions, we love to hear from you, no matter in what form.
Yeah,
so
sure.
that's my shameless plug.
You guys want to tackle this next question in the chat? Johnny Rivera.
I can't tell if he's serious. Is it a good idea to sell most alts for Bitcoin and Ethereum? I'm going to make the standard recommendation. Adapt Crypto. We absolutely love our alts, but more importantly, most small projects and small businesses will crash, and there's statistics out there that's like 95% will crash within the first year. So what that means is, how's crypto sort of any different? There are some different parameters there, but what I'm trying to say is that these, you could look at them as new small businesses, new small projects, and are all of them going to be around in like 5 years? And that's what you sort of got to ask yourself. But what I will say is that, damn, these new projects absolutely pump, and we love to ride them. We'll ride them all the way through, but more importantly, we will be doing that to up our positions in ETH and Bitcoin, because it's a no-brainer. We know that those two are going to stay around forever. Whether these other ones, we're not too sure.
Especially Bitcoin.
Especially Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
I'm personally a Polkadot fan, so these days, so I have been leaving a decent amount in my Polkadot stash. But yeah, most of these chains are gonna die instantaneously. That's an aggressive picture you just pulled up. But I think for the people in the chat, you do want to go take a look at some of these charts from 2017 and how they just sort of cratered completely and never came back. And you got to ask yourself, is that something you want to be holding on to till the bitter end?
Man, you never knew that Charles Hoskinson was so ripped.
Hey, you got to.
Sorry, continue.
You got to bring that picture back. I think we need to discuss. You can't just bring that up and then just hide it again. So yeah, what's going on with this picture?
Before we leave this topic, one advice before we leave this topic is, guys, in the markets, don't be greedy. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that greed has ended up, make you lose more money than you can potentially. Just take profits. Don't be greedy, because there's always other opportunities to make back profits. And that's my advice.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's really
Gotta
good advice.
listen to
And
it.
I think a lot of people back in 2017 and 18 would have loved that advice as well.
No, I would.
Yeah, 100%, man. What I will say is that, I don't know why this has sort of come up again. I think, I know they had a partnership back in September, and this guy is the owner of Singularity Net. He's one of the smartest guys, actually. If you ever listen to some of the Joe Rogan sort of podcasts, they're very interesting. But I didn't really get a chance to do the deep dive to really give you that information. But I just love the picture, and I think this is really good marketing, essentially, just having this guy in, because a lot of people respect him for his knowledge and his genius.
I'm sorry. Who? Just for the people listening at home, who are these people?
So we got Charles Hoskinson on the left, and the other one is Ben. I'm going to butcher this. Gorzel on the right. So we got Cardano. Was he the chairman or he's the owner of the IOHK, and then we have the guy on the right, which is Ben, who is the Singularity Net CEO. Is a stab.
That's AGI for you guys.
AGI. Interesting. Yeah, no, really does seem like Cardano has some things in the works, but we shall see. We shall see.
I think that's about it. Does anyone else want to?
Oh well, just
some news?
This. I'm going to steal the screen for a second here, because we always got to talk about what we put in the thumbnail. I think that's important, so if you stuck around since the beginning, we appreciate your time and your energy and just your interaction. I think it means more to us than you know. So I just wanted to pull this up here, guys. There is a chance that Jack Dorsey is Satoshi. I know people were thinking that it was Elon Musk. I mean, maybe it's both of them. It's possible.
Elon Musk a robot.
He is obviously not an actual human, much like Mark Zuckerberg. I feel like Mark Zuckerberg was an earlier model of Android. He's a little more stiff than Musk is. But obviously these aren't really actually real people. Maybe Jack Dorsey's also a robot, but I don't want to get too in the weeds here. Basically, all eyes on Jack Dorsey these days. A lot of weird stuff happening on Twitter, but he did tweet this out. I guess it was yesterday. Let me just pull up this tweet here. Jack says, running #Bitcoin. And apparently, word on the street is that Jack Dorsey is running his own node for Bitcoin that he has been in since the very beginning. And this article over here is just sort of drawing attention to Mr. What's-his-name, Hal Finney, that he also tweeted out the same exact word, except without the hashtag, running Bitcoin, all the way back in, I guess it was 2009. And obviously somebody that's running a node and is that into Bitcoin would know this, and it is sort of a callback to that original tweet all those years ago. So there is a good chance that Mr. Jack Dorsey has been deeply involved in Bitcoin and has been stacking Bitcoin like crazy if he's running a node. And I guess that is sort of a very bullish but frustrating development that we're seeing in sort of the media, that a lot of people who we just thought were cyborgs or just friendly sort of tech leaders are turning out to be Bitcoin hodlers, cryptocurrency activists, and specialists. And well, I think it's all of these things. Every time Elon Musk tweets about Dogecoin, or we see a tweet like this from Mr. Jack Dorsey, Logan Paul getting in with Bondly, all of these celebrities are really starting to get in. Even Mia Khalifa buying the dog stock. All of these things are just getting more awareness, heading more eyeballs to crypto. And honestly, I don't even want to know how many Bitcoin Jack Dorsey has, because that guy's already pretty frustrating and super rich, and makes me angry just to think about him. And I don't know, it's just personally a little frustrating to think that in addition to all that stuff, that Jack Dorsey also may have hundreds, if not thousands, of Bitcoins just sort of waiting there, that he just mined them, just like a total I don't know.
Well,
how do you guys feel about this?
For everyone.
How do you guys
Here's
feel
my
about
question for everyone. And let us know in the comments below. You guys let us know. And do you think Satoshi is an individual or a group of people? Personally, I believe it's a group. I don't think an individual.
It's got to be. It's got to be a group. It's got to be a group. I mean, I have heard some people say that it is one of the intelligence agencies that developed this, because it is incredibly elegant, complex, beautiful what they did create. I don't know. If you pull up the original Bitcoin white paper, there actually is a GMX email address on that white paper, and GMX is actually a German website email provider, and so I figured that may be also some sort of weird breadcrumb. But honestly, I don't know. What do you guys think? It's endless speculation. Endless speculation.
Too much speculation. So apparently, Johnny Rivera and Sean Candy both think that it is a group of devs. Anyone else have another opinion?
No, I think it's right. I think someone might have, it's like Apple, isn't it? You have one person who's, the spokesman for the group, and then you have the one dude that's the nerdy sort of guy that's sort of developing the tech. So I dare say there would be a group of them. There's plenty of rumors about Adam Back as well. He's one of the picks for Satoshi. It's more likely a group. You can't mine by yourself. You got to have a network, right? So it's got to be a group thing. I don't know.
So I got the white paper pulled up here. I mean, I would encourage everybody to email Mr. Satoshi. His email should probably still be up. It is satoshien@gmx.com. So, just shoot him an email. See if you get a response. Maybe if you use sort of the secret code word password, there may be an in there. So.
pumpmybags.com.
The secret code phrase is "to the moon."
Yeah, exactly. There's got to be some sort of secret code phrase. So
Send me Bitcoin.
Alrighty. Well, I've got everyone here. We start to wrap this up. I highly recommend that you get in our Discord. It is starting to pump again, but I'll tell you what, it is always pumping is our Telegram. Everyone has stopped because our stream is just so moving, but here we've been talking about our strats. I even threw in we got our meme coin that's sort of being developed right now, which is going to be like a Dogecoin but much better tokenomics. And here's a little message here where I said I'm going to take alts before everything started taking. So my point is that we are a collaborative group, and we work together to sort of help keep people informed so they can make their investment decisions. Also, not financial advice, but
not financial advice. It's not financial advice.
It's free and everyone's helpful, and we're kicking ass.
All right. Before we finish things up, can I drop one quick point for the viewers?
Yes.
Go for it, man.
Okay, cool.
Give us an alpha.
All right, not going to take too much of the time. I'm going to share my screen real quick if someone can help me out with that.
Oh, you are on screen. I don't know if you need to get approval.
Host, please.
Mr. Host, give him approval. While this is going down, it is hard to overstate how
Done.
I am part of this group. It is hard to overstate sort of how awesome and interactive the Telegram actually is. Everybody was so hyped about this option room listing yesterday, and well, it can be a little confusing sometimes to know what to do on a listing, and people in the chat were giving expert advice. Some people got the perfect entry, not financial advice, just sort of friendly LARP advice, but it was literally perfect. Somebody caught the bottom and is sitting on some pretty healthy gains at this point. And if you were in the Telegram, you could have been also LARPing in that. Not financial advice. that not financial
In
advice.
this panel of admins, let us know who this llama looks like. Because
Yeah.
I have an idea in mind. So guys, please
Definitely
comment
Harry.
who does this llama looks like.
Who's getting the llama here? Who's the llama?
Who's
Oh,
the
man.
llama out of this panel? Guys, please comment. I
Definitely
really want
Yeah,
to know.
make sure. I want to see it.
What are we
But,
looking at
just-
here, Daniel?
So
what is
it is
this?
exactly as TradeSharp has indicated. This, my friends, is a llama. And if you guys were paying attention on crypto Twitter today, we did have a little commotion about it in the Telegram earlier. Curve Finance put out a post of these two emojis, a sushi
Ooh.
and a llama. And then who is retweeting this? The man himself,
Ooh.
Andre Cronje. And he put a pickle next to it. And then a little bit later, they come up with this announcement of the sushi. This is on their onsen, their incentivized rewards pool for YVE Curve-ETH pairing.
Ooh.
And it's actually kind of funny that this came up today. I was racking my brain for like an hour trying to figure out what these things meant, what these emojis were doing, and they were just playing with my soul a little bit. And this thing dropped a little bit after that, and then I realized I've seen this LP before. The liquidity pool had already been added, I believe, 3 days ago. So I'm going to go to my profile here because I actually retweeted this because I saw it kind of happen in live time. So the original tweet, it's kind of on a comment thread, and scroll up here. So this guy, Monet Supply, funny name, was once again pulling the Bernie Sanders, asking for financial support from Curve
wow.
Finance and Andre Cronje on January 29th. Okay, so he's asking people to help add liquidity to this pool on Uniswap for this pairing. So it's YVE, the Yearn governance token deposit that you get for depositing your governance curve tokens, into the Yearn vaults. So you get that out, and then you can put it into the LP when you pair with these, of course. But you know, the Uniswap pairing didn't have enough liquidity, so it was asking for help. It kind of goes back to the llamas thing because just kind of trawling through crypto Twitter, I found out that llamas is kind of an affectionate term for, I guess, veterans of the Curve Finance product. But you take a look down here, and at the end, he says, oh, well, first of all, 0xMaki just balled out and made his own SushiSwap liquidity pool with the pairing for 160K. And then we have this one. Maybe we should ask the other llamas to join the party and incentivize the pairs with Curve tokens. So this thing you could have seen coming a couple days ago. It's what, the 5th today, a full week ago was when the liquidity pool actually started. If you had been paying attention, like I was not quite paying attention and collecting the dots well enough, you would have been able to see this coming and you'd be farming some crazy sushi gains on the onsen. That's all I got.
Nice. I might just share my screen as people were confused and trying to work this out. And, you know, it may have been, maybe it was Dan that was trying to work it at the time. Can you just share the screen for me just real quick, Dan? Sorry, give me the host.
Oh.
And, you know, people were trying to follow the breadcrumbs and they're like, oh, is that an alpaca? Anyway, this Satcoin just suddenly pumped, went pretty much at 3 or 4 ranks, and then dumped back down once Dan realised. Just kidding. Someone realised anyway. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Some people are still hopeful that it's the alpaca he's talking about, but you know, it's a bit of a lull for you, a bit of a meme. Alrighty, anything else, guys, or let's wrap it up?
Oh, good.
Oh, that might do it.
Alrighty, team. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, it's a pleasure. We'll see you around about this time tomorrow live, where we're going to be featuring Harry giving TA on your Shack coins, preferably not as that chat, so we can actually give you some real technical analysis. But for those who are new to the channel, Harry is a Forex trader full time, so he's got a bit of street cred within Adapt Crypto. Have your Shack coins ready. All right. See you next time.
Take care, guys.
Later, guys.
Smash that like, huh? I ask you one thing, subscribe and smash the like. That's your only task. Subscribe if you're new, like if you're old. That's it.
Epic, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Love this.
Take care.
Peace.
Are we good?